Hey there people, so today is our first day in expert hard mode for this playthrough and we've got some things to do. First of all, after defeating the wall of flesh of course, I have saved up all of these crates and the whole idea was that will allow me to get some nice new gear very quickly in hard mode. Now I don't know if this is going to be enough. Technically that's like 81 crates. I usually go for like 100, so we'll see. But what I'm hoping for here is lots of hard mode ores. There's some, yes, orichalcum and titanium bars. That's the kind of stuff we're looking for. So I'm just going to keep opening these. Obviously, I'm going to get some things that I don't need so much. Yeah, the whole idea, well, I won't bore you with opening every single one of these crates, but we'll see what we get when I'm done opening them all. Alright, so just in time for the next in-game day, I've finished all that, and as you can see, I got some really good loot here. Not quite enough to go straight to adamantite or titanium armor, unfortunately, although I'm pretty close on the titanium. I'm going to need a bit more of that to get titanium armor, but for the time being, I should be able to go straight to orichalcum armor, just by the amount that I got here. I'll need to make a hard mode anvil here first, and also got a new pet item, my mini minotaur, a little homage to Tobuscus there, and also got actually 5 enchanted sundials. I guess I can sell the excess ones, but that will occasionally be useful for skipping bad events that I want to avoid. You can do that every so often, and I got a ton of money from either directly from the crates themselves or from selling redundant items, because I got tons and tons of items. I got like 5 anchors at least and a whole bunch of tsunamis in bottles. So I'm just going to stash a little bit of this stuff, and what I'm going to do is the next step is to head out and locate danger zones as far as those stripes. I can see you know, it's supposed to come from the center of the world. It looks like it may have been off to the side just slightly, but you can see that looks like hallowed there, coming up to the surface, and of course it's hit the desert, which was, I tried to cut the desert in half to avoid either hallow or one of the evils spreading entirely through the underground desert, but that's going to spread pretty fast through the desert, so I'm going to want to get a jump on that and handle that as quickly as I can. Just cut that off before it takes over the entire underground desert. I like to keep some of it pristine. Again, not absolutely necessary, but I like to. I really should bring my party girl home. She's been, ironically, the party girl has been living in the house by the dungeon by herself. And I'm going to have to check out where the evils are as well. I think I'm good there. Actually, I think you can see, looks like Crimson went through there and even hit, interestingly, the surface just next to some of this corruption area. I can't overwrite the corruption. But anyway, yeah, so I'm just basically going to want to finish walling off the new stripes and make sure that my home base area is saved, make sure that I can save some of my desert, which again isn't so necessary, but it's the spreads fast there and I like to keep some of it pure. So that's what we're going to do, and I'll continue in that direction and I'll get my new armor set probably first. Alright, so unfortunately I discovered that I don't have quite enough to make both my hard mode anvil and a full set of orichalcum armor. I'm so close that it's pretty irritating, but there we go. So I think I need 54 bars for the full set, but that's okay, we'll make do. So I'll put in my new orichalcum anvil there, and I didn't have enough to make a mithril one instead either, so we'll do that, and then now you can see I get lots of options. Looks like I have enough palladium for a headpiece. I could also go and do a titanium headpiece in the hope of finishing the titanium set later. Maybe I'll do that because that'll give me kind of maximum defense and everything for now. So what I'll do orichalcum for the chest and the leggings, and maybe I'll go ahead and do a titanium ranger, because it looks like I also got the ranger emblem from the wall of flesh, and I also got the clockwork assault rifle from the wall of flesh, so I may as well stick with my usual ranger. I got all the best gear for that. I'm also going to want, though, maybe some new weapons. Let's see. My Knight's Edge is pretty good. I could do an adamantite sword, but I might want actually need to do adamantite or titanium forge as well. So I might want to save that for that. So I guess we'll take it from there. I'll just stash the rest of the ores and bars here for the time being, and we'll take off to go save some stuff. Okay, so here we've made it into the hard mode hallowed desert. And we've got those big sand crawlers, or whatever they're called. This is the part that we're worried about. It's already spread beyond the pyramid. I was hoping that the cut down the center and the pyramid itself would serve as an effective barrier, but that has not been the case. So we're going to want to dig down about here. Yeah, even with the new gear, I'm in a certain amount of trouble. You know what? I'd better go home. Okay, so back again after a quick heal, and those damn giant worms are going to be a problem. Oh, when we've got sharks and everything. So what I'm going to need to do here is resort to some of my more powerful weapons. I still have a star cannon. Still not enough. This is going to be... Really sucks that it's also sandstorm. Guess I'm just going to need to focus a little more on the combat and throwing bombs and stuff. I should get my imps in there too. I really should recover my bewitching table from the underworld. And I guess I'll use my buffs to give me an edge in the fight. Oh great, that'll help. Okay, maybe if I make my way just beyond the desert to get out of this mess. Okay, so yes, I died again, and what I'm going to do now is start throwing bombs. I guess I don't really need to resort to the sticky bombs. I'll just try to stay above all this for the most part. Hope that some of those bombs hit the worm, I guess. And the sharks. Making a hole. I'm gonna have to do something about the worms though. Okay, star cannon. It's helpful. Problem is, there's constantly more of them. Bloody sharks. Can't even see where my hole is. Okay, better get back home. Alright, so I'm just looking at my map to figure out kind of the situation here. And what you can see is that I've dug a hole down about that far, but the thing is to you know, actually get under this, I need to get into the hardened sand. So I'm going to need to make my way underground, which is going to be probably even more dangerous. But a good way to do that will be to go down the pyramid itself and find out, you know, where I can sort of cut this off before it spreads further. That's going to be my little goal for the moment. It's too bad actually it was raining for a little bit, and one of the things that's really useful early in hard mode is actually Nimbus Rod, because especially in the underground desert or underground areas like that where you have a lot of dangerous enemies, that Nimbus Rod is incredibly effective against those worms. So that's something that I may want to keep an eye out for. If it's raining again, I can fight those angry Nimbuses, who are not easy at this point in the game, but yeah, a little calmer inside the pyramid, I think. Not sure that those worms can dig through the pyramid itself, but here you can see where this is happening. And that kind of mirrors the... Oh, and those basilisks, those guys are nasty too. Steady, steady. Yeah, this is where I don't want to blow up the pyramid because, I mean, partly because it is kind of a safe zone. Back off! Basilisks and lamias and ant lions. Okay. Can kind of lead him off the cliff there. Yeah, I just want to dig out anything that's hallow to prevent that from spreading any further. I'm going to want to get down here further. And you can see there's definitely a problem down there, so I'm just going to bomb that out. Oops, I didn't want to let him out. Go down the hole, thank you. So now I just need to make sure that that little hallow section doesn't infect the rest. Oh god, these sand poachers are a problem at this stage in the game as well. Yeah. Hate those guys. I'll still want to try to get maybe some more crates as a shortcut to getting my titanium armor. And even enough adamantite or titanium for my forge. Basically, the longer I can put off actually smashing altars, the better. Especially if it allows me to gear up a little. Yeah, those bloody worms, but as long as I... oh, they can come through here. I was wondering about that. Well, better get out of here then. But I don't think they spawn when I'm in the pyramid. They can come through the pyramid, but they don't spawn there. Making it into the pyramid before those giant worms spawn is helpful. The pyramid itself is very helpful, actually. Okay, so here is where I'm going to want to make the best of this before a lot of the enemies start spawning in again. Yeah, that ghoul inflicted me with confused, so that kind of messed me up. Wow, 22 seconds left of confused. It's really not helpful. So yeah, there is still a bit beyond the pyramid here for a good little section, so I just want that separated enough that it's not going to continue this way, and of course I'm going to need to do that up above as well, which arguably at this point might even be the higher priority. My Knight's Edge doesn't have enough knockback. Inflict that confused for quite a while too. You can see. I may as well use my buffs. I can actually monitor the progress on my mini-map here, which will probably save me a lot of trouble. Just throw bombs in the hole and watch it grow. Alright, that looks probably about good enough, but let's just go down and check it out. So we are achieving separation here. If I can just blow up that bit, that'll make sure that there's not enough for it to spread to there. I hear a worm coming, and I'm gonna run away. Oh, it's just a little one. I'm just afraid of them now. Alright, down once more to the pyramid. I just want to check my handiwork here and see if that's sufficient separation all the way along this line between the hallowed desert and the regular desert. Yeah, I think... Oh god, I want to stay away from him. But yeah, I think that's good, and I'm going to run away again. I'm going to need to do the part near to the surface at this point, though. Oh, I was poisoned. Whoops. Alright, so I think I've achieved sufficient separation because I do have the... this whole thing that I dug straight down, and that was the point of that. I was hoping it would only hit one side or the other side, but that was the point of that, to have some separation there already before I got into hard mode. And so I think I've separated enough that this sort of line of control, shall we say, goes down, and then it just intersects with that. So it should only infect that half over there now. Obviously, it's got this big chunk here, so I'm just going to want to come down here and basically separate along there now as well, and try to keep a little bit of my original surface desert and a lot more of the underground desert pristine, shall we say. Again, not that it's a huge deal, but I just like to have that because there are certain things that are dropped only in one area or the other. You can actually see here how quickly it's spreading, because I did have, the bottom of the pyramid here was acting as a bit of a barrier as well. But you can see it spread downward very quickly past that. So, gotta watch out for those sand poachers. They are nasty. But if I can just achieve at least a 3-block separation all the way along here. And the background is also a bit of a clue, but again, you can see it's starting to spread downward over here. I got to get every single block, because any block of the hallowed desert will infect the regular desert. I also need to get underneath where it's spreading through the surface sand, because of course surface sand will actually fall. And so I need to get the hardened sand underneath in order to actually achieve sufficient separation. It looks like actually this section is just sand mostly. In fact, I can probably just mine out the specific blocks of pearl sand here. This is where block swap would be useful. Where there's nothing to stop it, just falling right down. It's going to do exactly that. But so be it. I'll just take out entire rows of sand. How's that? Okay, so I think I've just about got it here. But you can see I do have a little bit right here. Dig that one little block out. I think that might... Oh, no, there's one there too. No, that's regular hardened sand. Okay. Okay. I think we might have got it. I had to bomb this whole area because it did get into the surface sand. So I had to bomb this whole area because it spreads almost as fast as you can manage to stop it. But at this point, I think I got it. I threw all kinds of bombs, blew up this whole huge area, and I was literally just trying to bomb faster than the pearl sand could spread, and I think I finally got it. So I'm gonna have to keep an eye on that situation, but I do believe that is an achievement, a goal achieved. So for my next little mission, I need to now separate enough of this area to keep my village safe. And I think as much as, I do have this elevator which I dug, I should have really dug probably another one further over, which is probably what I'm going to do now. Maybe just dig. I could turn this into a elevator, but there's all kinds of water there, so I might just go a little further over and sort of try to connect that to that minecart track. The minecart track actually will provide a nice... The minecart track is big enough that generally it will act as a barrier as well. So, and then we'll try to connect that over that away, and basically that's just going to be a nice box around my base. That'll keep me safe. And then it's a question of, do I want to preserve some of the regular underground down here? Which, yeah, I think that part I won't worry about because the hallow's already right here anyway. But maybe the underground snow biome, I might want to cut across and see if I can save a bit of that. But those are the basic goals at this point. I might also want to complete this elevator to save the jungle as well. The jungle's got a nice separation right now, but I might want to complete that elevator to sort of finish the job. And at this point, as you can see, I resorted to bombs, particularly in the desert, because it does spread so fast. It was almost spreading as fast as I could bomb that whole area. And so I kind of just stayed ahead of it by throwing bomb after bomb after bomb. And that's why I dug through the underground desert before, but I might just want to continue that. And achieve separation for my village with the little box area here as well, and maybe achieve some separation for the underground snow biome. It does spread rather quickly through ice as well. Nice, I just found my wizard. I was just exploring. Oh, and he was immediately slain, but I talked to him first, so maybe that'll count. We'll see. But yes, he was just slain. So that's a thing. But this minecart track actually might be providing me a very useful service here. Oh, I'm going to have to be careful with it though, but you can see this is just down the level where... Better get out of there. Look at it on the map. So you can see this is where that stripe ran through. And so the hallow's coming up this way, and that's separating most of it that way, and this will be separating most of it this way, I think. Yeah, I don't think it crossed in this section. And there's also a granite biome, so again, I can monitor that situation, but I think I don't even really need to. There's a marble biome there, granite biome there. So I think in a marble biome there as well. So that should stop it spreading up this way. The hallow, now I need to figure out where the crimson is. But basically it does spread through ice. Both of the evils and the hallow spread through ice very quickly as well. So I'm going to want to start digging down here somewhere. Or I guess I could even go from there, but it's going to be coming up. You can see where it is there, so it's something like that. And I just want to get under it and save as much of that section, at least, of the underground snow biome as I can. So maybe actually I'll just dig down somewhere around there and across, and that way I can save some of my underground snow biome before the ice spreads, as it does very quickly through the area. Alright, there just happens to be a nice little cave right below here, so I figure that'll be a nice starting point. Right, well, I've just discovered a nice little minecart track here as well, which will allow us both to do a little reconnaissance and might be helpful in achieving the separation of the biomes. So let's just map it out and see what's where. It goes all the way over here, which is nice. So there's Mimic nearby. See where it goes this way, and that digger is coming after me, but whatever. Silence, digger. So noticing how close that came to the little path that I had here from before, I may as well just dig a little access, shall we say, down to that, because that's going to separate things out. Anyway, I'm realizing that I might want to craft a decent repeater. I'm still using my Hellwing bow, which is very inaccurate, but I have tons and tons of arrows. So normally I like guns at the beginning of hard mode, but might be useful to have a good bow, although I do plan on getting the Daedalus Stormbow as well, so I guess there's that argument to be made. There we go. That will basically should prevent that spreading. The crimson is pretty close over here, so it'll probably spread over to here, but and under there. But I can basically section it off, and there's a cave there. I may as well continue down that way, and we'll see how far down we go until we run into the crimson, I think, at that point. Blasting a nice path through here, and I just noticed I have a skeleton merchant. Let's see if he has anything interesting for me. Spelunker glowstick, maybe. Red counterweight and a format C. Oh, yo-yo glove, actually. You know what? Yo-yos are good. I have so much money. won't worry about whether that's the best yo-yo at the moment. Spelunker's glow stick, though, can come in handy. What happens if I... he walked away at just the right time. I was going to plant a bomb right next to him. So I got an ice tortoise here, which are actually really a pain early in hard mode, but hellfire arrows, very helpful. I wasn't lucky enough to get the frozen turtle shell, though. Alright, well that's a pretty obvious example of a mimic, I would say. So, let's see if I can fight my first mimic of hard mode. Yeah, I really should craft a better bow. I do have a lot of arrows left, so it would be useful. Did it. I've been inflicted with confused. But there we go. Because I got feral bite, that's why. But I did it, and I got a toy sled. Hooray! Okay, so I did actually see a floaty gross down here. Oh, must be a spider cave nearby as well. Actually, that could be very useful, because I could get my spider minions. But yeah, technically I'm actually below the ice biome now. I think I should be, though, close to the Crimson, because as I say, I saw a floaty gross actually just wander up all of a sudden out of nowhere. Which means Crimson must be nearby somewhere. Oh yeah, the spider cave is right down below me. So many bats. So many bats. Oh god, there was like 6 bats. And I was already wounded. Oh wow. I dropped 26 gold. That's brutal. Okay, so I've refilled a bunch of my potions. I was using my buffs a lot, so I ran low on those. But also, I realized all I needed was a string to make the yo-yo glove, so I'm going to do that. Or the yo-yo bag, sorry. From the yo-yo glove and so on. So I'll do that, just in case I need it. I can then use my format C. I might want to consider upgrading to a better yo-yo at some point as well. The other thing that I was talking about is making a repeater. What I realized is that the adamantite or titanium forge, those are actually made from ore, and strangely enough, I didn't get any adamantite or titanium ore, so I can't make a forge right now, but I may as well use those 12 adamantite bars. It's exactly the number I need to make an adamantite repeater, so that is going to be a nice big upgrade from that Hellwing bow. And the other thing is that I was stuck with a partial orichalcum set, so I made the titanium helmet, and I'm thinking, why didn't I make some of the rest of the titanium armor? That's going to give me a little better defense and a little better stats as well. So that'll be a slight upgrade there as well. And I'm just going to go down and finish that tunnel. I think I'm close to where the Crimson, I must be close to where the Crimson is coming up. As I say, I saw a floaty gross, and so it's somewhere there. So I'm just going to finish going down, and then I'll make my way across. And you know what? I might even try to fight the Wall of Flesh one more time, because I'm going to want one more emblem. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes and if I have time for that. For now, let's head down with what I got, and we'll finish that tunnel. Okay, so here I am back at the scene of my death, and you know, sometimes I really forget how great these yo-yos are, which is, you know, why I'm... On the one hand, I'm kind of drawn to them, and the other hand, I often forget to actually use them. But they are, like, really great. You can see how quickly I took out that ice tortoise. And, you know, those guys are a bane of my existence otherwise. So, also, I forgot to mention, I did swap out my... Oh, speaking of ice tortoise. But I did grab what cash was left and deposited it. Alright, so as I was saying, yo-yo with the yo-yo bag, tremendously useful. One thing that happened here, actually, is that I had a little house up a little farther. Had some water. I had nicely ducked around the water, but it was being held back by the door and the Viking, undead Viking, opened the door. So that was annoying. Anyway, here I am in the spider web, and actually the spider cave, and actually this could be an opportunity because, ooh, steady, ice tortoises are mean. But yeah, these guys are a problem in early hard mode, and you can see how well the yo-yo does at helping out with that problem. But if I can take out some more of those black recluses, I can get enough spider fangs to get this spider pet. And yeah, this place is definitely swimming with them, so to speak. Now, interestingly, the bombs actually do take out the background too, so gotta be careful of that. So that means that these spiders can no longer climb on the background. Okay, I really should probably equip my bezoar if I'm in a spider nest. Or is it venom? Yeah, it might be venom. In which case it won't help. Alright, so I think this is about as far down as I want to go. I'm getting into lava here, so start going across, I guess. I'll still stick with the bombs, and maybe, I don't know, I'm a little undecided on whether to bomb or mine. It's a little faster mining going sideways compared to going downwards is much easier with bombs. You can obviously see some of the caverns in the area, so I should be able to just kind of connect them up fairly quickly. Use the pickaxe once in a while, maybe. Alright, I think I've achieved my goal here at this point. I've kind of created a channel all through here. Actually, through that lava there. Oh, actually, you know what? I might need to just separate that one little bit. There, confusion wore off. Even little blocks can be a stepping stone, so through there. If I want to show you this, it's going to be a challenge. There we go. Without getting burned. So I have a little path all through here, all around, all to where my other section was. I made use of one or two minecart tracks along the way. So I think that's that. Let's just show you on the map. So that's down here from this area. This area seemed to be starting to get a little bit of hallow in there, so I just didn't worry about it. I went from this minecart track, I went down and sort of through here and up through there, and this is where I had come from the other side, down through that spider nest, all the way through here. And I didn't do it as neat and organized as I somehow do, but basically that should stop the hallow and the crimson from spreading all through that area, because I already had some of this. So this whole area, the underground snow biome, and all the way up to there. The only other section I need to worry about is over here. I don't want, it doesn't even matter really if the hallow comes close to my base there, but I may want to dig that out. I'm not going to worry about that right now. I've saved part of my desert here, a big part of the underground desert, a little bit at the surface. I've saved a big part of my underground snow biome here. I've saved my village certainly from the evils, if not from the hallow quite yet. So I might want to finish that job. I could even probably just go straight through here and just make sure that that's all good through there. Won't take much to stop the hallow from spreading past that tree. And so that's basically that. Now, I got some cool stuff along the way. In addition to stuff I'd already showed you, I actually got a mechanical worm drop, which is perfect because the first mechanical boss I'll want to fight is the Destroyer. I'm not going to do that yet. I got a magic quiver, which works out because I just crafted a repeater, and that'll give me a nice boost for ranged arrow damage. And that could go very nicely with a Daedalus Stormbow, which I plan to get later as well. I got the armor polish, fighting those armored bones, armored skeletons, while I was digging all those tunnels as well, which will go with my obsidian shield, my bezoar, and some other stuff to craft the Ankh shield eventually, hopefully. I'm going to need a bunch of stuff for that. So that's awesome, but I've got one more thing I think I want to do, and that is to fight the wall of flesh one more time, which should be a lot easier with all this nice hard mode gear now. But I'm going to head down there. I'm just going to stash a few things before I do that, and I'm going to head down. I'm going to fight the wall of flesh one last time. Reason being, although I do already have an emblem, I'm going to want another one because eventually I'm going to want my Avenger emblem as well. And I want to keep this Ranger emblem because I do tend to play as a ranged player. So I might want to farm the wall of flesh a couple times to try to get one more emblem that I can later turn into an Avenger emblem. So I'll see you in hell. Alright, so here I am. I'm down here. I used to have a sharpening station and an ammo box, didn't I? I hope they didn't get hit by lava and despawn. I may have lost those. But I should really probably take this one with me now that I just got the buff. Just so I don't lose that one too. But yeah, let's apply the buffs, which includes water walking and all that. So I am going to have to be careful. This was interesting last time. But let's toss that in there. Here comes the wall of flesh. I'm going to rely, I didn't even bring beanades this time, so I'm going to rely mostly on my adamantite repeater this time around. I guess as with last time, I might want to zoom out so you can see what's going on. And I'm just using leftover arrows, actually. I had some fire arrows, I had some... yeah, now I'm onto my frostburn arrows because I had all kinds of leftover ice torches, so and all kinds of leftover wooden arrows from before. Because, yeah, you get tons of wooden arrows in the chests and all that. So I was like, might as well use them. So it's going to be interesting to see how this works. I do have some stars for my star cannon as a backup plan as well. Oh yeah, goblin army while I'm fighting the wall of flesh, sure. Why not? But hopefully, you know, hard mode equipment and all that. Again, not too worried, hopefully. Yeah, so survival so far isn't a big issue. Keep an eye on those buffs. If my obsidian shield, or my obsidian skin potion runs out, I'm going to be in big trouble. Right, water walking. Okay, yeah, now we're getting to the point where it's getting a little faster. Much faster, but that's okay. Frostburn and the adamantite repeater did the job. Alright, I do not want to fight it immediately again, though, so we'll be careful not to drop that voodoo doll in the lava. Alright, we did that. Let's see what we got. Oh, I got the Wall of Flesh trophy this time, which I don't think I got last time, so I can hang that in one of my NPC houses. And nice, perfect. I got a warrior emblem, which is really the only thing I actually cared about. But I got the trophy too, so I can hang that up. And I'm not going to do that right now because there's a goblin army up there waiting for me. So I hope you liked the video. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you next time. Bye for now.